Yeah.
But I like what Cesc is doing here. I think in a perfectly even match, he'd be better off kind of taking a second, maybe even a third, sitting back, macroing, but this is kind of his best shots. He's going to go for a big kind of all-in play.
Yeah. And they're not many units, but they are quite powerful ones. 2 Void Rays, 2 Immortals, couple of Sentries. I mean, that force field on the ramp there at the attack did a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a big round of Stalker coming out now. He's got a ton of Marines to deal with the Void Rays and no Marauders at all. One Marauder.
And the force field.
That's a very good decision by CryTT. He was not in a position to attack. He was well behind. He needed to be playing the defensively and focusing on the macro. And he kind of just gave away 12 free Marines there.
Yeah, it was a big loss. I think what he was trying, though, was he knew the Protoss was busy taking not bad, or maybe trying to take an extra expo or something. His shot could have been to take the guy off and do some damage.
Yeah, kind of a metagame call there, thinking, well, he thinks that it's going to be, he thinks that I'm going to macro, so instead I'm going to go for the attack. But I think he should have invested just in one scan. He would have seen those 4 gateways and known, okay, not a good time to push.
Yeah. Just realized I actually had the stream running myself in the background, so half the time you've been talking, I haven't actually been able to tell whether it was you or just the repeat from the stream. But now I can actually make out what you're saying, so...
Oh, good.
Yeah. Just been trying to go blind for a while. But yeah, I think...
Not yet. Wow, this is a huge force. I'm not sure if Cesc is going to be able to stop pulling all the SCEs again. And the Void Ray is doing a ton of damage. Void Ray models extremely...
Luckily with Terra not charged up here, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference, yeah?
Wow. We do see a massive amount of damage coming in.
Going to be it. With that dark warp in of that, this should be over now.
2 medevacs trying to flash their boobs there and give a kind of a drag. Not really.
Somehow draw those Void Rays away, but
yeah.
The expansion going down, that should be it.
Protoss is in fact an asymmetrical rate.
Yeah. I would have thought myself that CryTT was a big favorite for this game. Because
yeah, very impressive play though.
I always give him hassle about not making master yet, but I mean he is really one of the top down players and has gone to beat them. He's got games with grandmasters in the past, so he's definitely
a very good player. I think perhaps maybe he underestimated his opponent a little bit.
Yeah. Although that was a strange attack. Yeah, I've never seen that sort of small attack of just Immortal Void Ray. It's always been a Stalker Void Ray or something else along those lines. Yeah, so maybe he hasn't seen something like this and know how to deal with it. But needless to say, it was effective.
And GG by CryTT, wow. Well done, aoRCesc. Very impressive play.
Yeah, nicely done. That brings it to 1-1, I believe, between AO and MMK.
Interesting choice by Cesc to go for Void Ray Immortal there, because he did not see that barracks with the Tech Lab. But I guess you're playing against Terran, it is a TVP, you're kind of going to assume they're going to go Marauder heavy, so he decided to play against that.
Yeah. With that early robot, I was actually expecting some sort of dropship play, just because, I mean, warpship. What's that thing called from Protoss again?
Warp
Prism, that's it.
One that doesn't
I know,
free as a bonus.
There you go. Yeah, not as good as Terran, but because I've seen that a few times in ZVP, that's what I'm saying, TVP on the close S ones there, where they come in, they drop a couple of zealots, warp in here, warp in there, and the harass can be extremely difficult to deal with, especially if you're going for some sort of expo and you're going to defend the front and the back, and then some third warp in position can be quite ill.
Yeah, no, that can be pretty rough. But the best thing to do in those kind of situations, if you do feel you are maybe a little bit outmatched, is to go for kind of a sneaky build. But we saw him go for kind of an interesting build, but not necessarily a gimmicky build, actually an incredibly strong build.
I must say, thinking about it, even though he had very few units going for going for one gate, Spellgate, and Robo, with only, as I say, with only one gate, with the sentry there, the force field would pretty much keep him protected for quite a while, well, for a certain amount of time, giving him the chance to actually get the Void Ray or Immortal out.
Yeah.
it's a risk, definitely, because you only get about one force field off that sentry. But, I mean, obviously effective if he doesn't choose to attack. And the force field can at least scare the person off. Because if the turn moves in, you see that force field go, you don't want to try and push up the ramp in case he has another one. Splits your army and you die right there.
Yeah, that's true. And if CryTT had moved out with that little force, he would have been able to cut off a couple of Marines and probably discourage the push with that early sentry.
Yeah. And you can never be sure, because behind that, if he had a couple of other gates or something instead of the Stargate or whatnot, that loss of Marines and Marauder would have pretty much killed him right there if the Tosser just walked in and attacked him. Yeah.
And seeing no
it's hell to think that you can...
It's a little bit too risky, or for no expo.
Yeah. Well, generally, I mean, if you can get your expo up before the Protoss and you can get those bunkers down and hold it, you feel pretty secure. Because you can just sim up and strike as he starts to sort of expand, or just race him to 200 pop, basically out macroing him.
Yeah, so the thing about the 3 or 4 models he had in that first push, it just demolished the bunkers despite the SCVs repairing.
The funny,
I don't think you would have been expecting 4 models to come rolling through.
Just to jump in there, because now that the game's done, they don't really care. But just
you on the stream now?
Yeah, I'm on the stream now. Just to jump in,
okay, cool.
That build is like pro-like, because I mean, I didn't watch it, I was actually away, but when I came back, I mean, he didn't even get Warp Gate. It was, you know, I need every
Warp
gas.
Gate was so late.
Yeah, he skipped Warp Gate entirely.
I need every single gas I can get. Like, screw 50 gas, I cannot afford to lose it, I have to get this out. And that's insane.
The nice thing about that as well is, though, that the Sentry actually has a decreased build time without the Warp Gate now after the patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually might turn out to be a slight advantage there.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the thing is, like, if he had microed better in that first battle, he could have won the game right there. His Immortals were actually killed by SCVs.
Yeah, because that first attack was extremely close. I mean, there was, I think, a Void Ray and maybe 2 Mortals, maybe a Zealot or 2 that actually survived till the Terran army was dead. And then just the reinforcements from his base just sort of sealed the deal damage to there.
Yeah, kind of weird to see reinforcement Immortals marching their way across the map, but...
yeah. Yeah. I'm used to seeing that just warp-in, that line of warp-in from the gate, and you see these instant reinforcements.
Yeah.
That long march actually might have helped him.
Okay, now...
Those Immortals are so strong.
Just looking here, last season in StarCraft 2, CESC was a 2.4k Platinum. Now, that wasn't really that impressive because the top players were about 3.3k. Now, he was Platinum. This season, he's got 10 wins and is a Division Rank 77 Diamond. So I don't know where the hell he pulled that win out of there, but that is a build to walk... I don't know, that build is insane. So I don't know quite where that came from.
It's very interesting. Like, it kind of depends on what the Terran does. The Terran needs to actually scout that to have a proper response. I wouldn't call it like a cheesy build though. It's quite interesting. I quite like it actually.
Well, it's obviously not all.
It's quite different from what you would expect from the Protoss.
It's not an all.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, I mean,
if it had been
set up an expansion while he was there, and I mean, he played it really well.
Yeah, it was definitely well played by the Protoss there.